What's up, people? Almost forgot to unmute my mic. Welcome to another show. I was thinking, golly, didn't I just do this? But, I got thrown off. This whole last 2 weeks has been a very interesting thing for a person who's a creature of habits, such as myself. But, I'm getting there. Yes, it's good to see Miss Shay in the house. Shay the Bay, I call her. See all the regulars in here. I'm trying to see if I see anybody new. Well, I see some that I don't see that often. Let me put it that way. But so far, every name I've seen is somebody who I've seen before. So it's good to see everybody. Glad you made it through your weekend. Oh, look at this. I'm looking at the cover page and it says we have 26 questions today. And she put a note that says, yes, there are a lot of letters, Deb, but many of them are short. So you should be able to get through them in just 2 or 3 minutes. See. Okay, so she loaded me up with 26 questions today. That's one over the maximum that we've ever had. They better be short. I'm going to be like in a murderous rage when we get through with this show. But yes, for those of you who, kind of forgot, or there may be some people not in actually in the chat. But oh, a new subby. Glad you identified yourself. Um I want everybody to understand the format that we follow here. People have submitted their questions in advance. They're in this document right here. My cousin goes through all the emails rather that we receive, and she picks which ones we want to do in the column, puts them in whatever order she deems is the best, and then I read them, and then I respond to them off the cuff. So I don't have any, prior knowledge of the questions. I haven't read them. I didn't touch them. That's our rule. She goes in and she does that. They go into a separate folder, so I don't even go in there. And then she emails me this right around between 5:15 and 5:45 is when it usually arrives. I print it out, and then that's it. That's the show. If you have a question that you want to, well, she didn't say they were all short. She said some of them are short. But if you want to get a question, responded to on the show, look in the show description below. Just expand the box, and you'll see there's a lot of writing in there. And you just go down near the bottom. Is something that'll say, submit your advice question or something like that. Click that link, and it'll take you to the submission form, so you can submit a letter for the future column. We'll be back on Friday, and then next Friday is our last Flummox Friday before DNN starts. So DNN starts the second Friday in June. Okay, so let's go. 26 questions. You guys keep up, keep me on track here. 26 questions. Woo! Let's start with question number one. This is from a male in the 50 to 55 age group from Dallas. Help me out with something. My wife and I are in our early 50s and we are empty nesters. She has two sons from her first marriage and I have a daughter. Everyone is gone and gone. My wife and I took one of the spare bedrooms and turned it into a nursery for our two granddaughters who are 5 and 3 months old. We decorated the room with frozen stuff. Oh, that's a movie, huh? And the oldest one loves the room. The baby has a crib in there and it's decorated accordingly. The other spare room is now just a room for clutter and stuff. We typically keep that door closed. When my daughter was pregnant, she asked if she could stay with us the last few weeks of her pregnancy because her roommate didn't drive and she didn't trust her enough to take her to the hospital when she went into labor. So she moved in, and within 2 weeks, she had our newest granddaughter. She had to have a C-section, so she stayed a little bit longer, but she's gone back to her own place. Now, one of the stepsons had a place with his girlfriend. Yesterday, my wife told me that he and his girlfriend had broken up and that he would be moving back home. This particular son likes to smoke weed and play video games all day. He works under the table at a t-shirt printing place, so he's not really working a full-time Monday through Friday 40-hour-a-week gig. About a year ago, my wife and I went on vacation, and he took our dog to his place and has kept her ever since. It's nice to not have the house smell like a dog and have husky hair all over the place. But last night at 11, he came strolling in with that dog, bringing his stuff and putting it in the girls' room. I heard him say that he was going to hook up his Xbox to the flat screen TV we put in there. This morning when I woke up, He was out walking the dog, so I walked by the room because the door was open, and I saw the dog's water bowl on the floor and water splashed all over the place. I walked into the room and it reeked of dog. My wife and I spent a lot of money fixing up that room for the girls, and now it just smells like a kennel. Both of our granddaughters will be here this weekend. I told my wife yesterday that when they come, he will not be allowed to sleep in the room. We had also recently purchased a new living room set with a new sofa and love seat, and I told her he was not about to start sleeping on that either. My dilemma is this: how do I tell her that we need to give her son a time limit to leave the house? We didn't give my daughter a time limit, but we knew she was only going to be here for a little while anyway, given that she had her own place to go back to. I'll be damned if you're just going to lounge in the girls' room playing video games all day and your dog stinking up the place. We shouldn't have to keep spraying their room to kill the weed and dog smell. My wife isn't going to listen to me because this is her son. Am I wrong here? Our 5-year-old and 3-month-old shouldn't have to smell dog and weed when they come to spend the weekend with us. Oh, dude, you are so right. And this is one of those kind of things. Oh, thanks, DC. This is one of those situations where you need to flex and flex hard. And I would tell my wife, I don't give a fuck what you say. And I normally don't think that that's really the appropriate way for a husband to talk to his wife. But let me explain something to you. There are exceptions for everything. I will never advocate that a man put his hands on a woman unless she is like about to stab him or something, something just really egregious. But this is not something that you really need. There's no argument here. It's like you tell him. You don't have to wait for what his mother says, and you tell him, I don't care what your mama says because I'm telling you, as a man of this house, you got 30 days, and then I want your fucking ass up out of this house. You and that stinking ass dog. Don't you smoke weed in my house. The second I smell weed in my house, you out of here that day. Am I making myself clear? I don't give a fuck what you do at your house, but this is my house, and so I set the rules here. There will be no drugs in this house, and you're gonna clean up that room when they're not here, and you are not gonna be just sitting around all day playing video games. We have chores to do around here. You could help do some of those, alleviate the strain from your mama. Well, the room's not messed up. The dog just had water on the floor, but that's another thing. Put the dog stuff outside on the patio in the backyard or something, and make him drink. He want to eat and stuff. He need to eat out there, not in the house. So, there's a lot of things that you need to set out, as which is, the 30 days or 60 days, whatever you're going to do. And then you give it to him in a document and you make him sign it and make sure that it has a clause in there that says, the instant that one of these things are broken, you understand that you will be kicked off the premises that day. And then you look at your wife and say, you got a problem? And she going to say, no, no. She might be mad, but you know what? She'll get over it. Because, this just like, this kind of thing here, I don't know. I guess I would be a terrible man because I would have, soon as he tried to come in the house, I would have said, oh, hell no. No, you and that mother not coming here. I don't know where you're going to go. Stay with some of your friends or somewhere or get you a room in some flop house, but you're not coming here. And that's just the way it is. That room is for my granddaughters. That ain't you. So get out. You're a grown ass man. Go live somewhere else. Live with one of your friends. Y'all can sit up there and smoke weed and play video games all damn day. But you're not going to be doing that here. In my house, all men work every day, 40 hours a week. So you're not prepared to do that, then you get out. Well, it's terrible because they are. See, I don't know anything about huskies. I never knew anybody that had one. But my thing is this: he is the owner of the home and he's the man of the house. And in that respect, you have every right to lay down the law and tell your stepson what the deal is. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't give a fuck about, you know, what my wife had to say about it. Because I'm like, yeah, well, it don't matter because I'm the man of the house. It's my shit. It's my house. And he's a man, and I'm going to deal with him. You stay out of it. Sit your ass down somewhere. The reason why your son is all raggedy and fucked up now is because of your mothering, coddling him and treating him like a fucking child. If I hadn't been around the whole time, he wouldn't be like this. So obviously, your parenting skill set is like toe up. So we're not going to be paying no attention to what you got to say. I'm going to run this shit from here on out. And that would just be that. He just is just too much. Dude is just This is just, ugh. I couldn't, I think if I had a son like this, I would be embarrassed. I would tell everybody my son died. I don't know who that is, but that ain't no child of mine. Let's move on to question number 2. This is from a female in the 30 to 35 age group from Sandy Springs, Georgia. Hmm. Seems like I remembered some letter coming from that place about 6, 8 months ago. I got a breast reduction not too long ago. I waited until I was 30 because I needed to get my job and insurance situation straight. I got it to relieve the back pain I've been experiencing. I'm so relieved that I had it done, but I also don't feel like my whole self. My boyfriend said he might break up with me if I had it done, but I decided my health was a priority, so I had it done anyway. But after I had it done, my boyfriend made comments on how my boobs look better before, even after they're healed. He made remarks about their shape and the scars I have because of it. Last week, he broke up with me, and I'm still feeling down about it. Wow. I'm feeling down because I thought he would be supportive of me, still be attracted to me, and be happy that my pain was gone. I feel like I'm just an object to him. I look further into my dating life, and I'm questioning if other guys will be this critical about it. Do you think this will hinder my chances of a happy, loving relationship with someone else? Absolutely not, because you didn't have a happy, loving relationship with him. So if that's what your basis for comparison is to, then girlfriend, you need to go back to the drawing board because this guy, he had evidently a boob fetish, and once the boobs were not, of the size that he wanted to fetishize, then he dipped out. So you dodged a bullet. You had sincere feelings for someone who just saw you as an object. So there's nothing to waste emotions over this about. There's nothing to feel down about. If anything, you should be relieved not only that you got the breast reduction and your pain is gone, but also that you are rid of some dead weight, that dead weight on your chest and dead weight in your love life. Okay, you got a twofer. So I'm not really seeing where this is a problem. I know it's probably a shock to you and all of that, but again, see, this is my new thing. You got to reframe this. You focusing on what you feel like you lost. And I'm telling you, look at what you gained. You gained freedom from somebody who don't really love you and is only there because you had something that he liked to look at and feel on and all that stuff. So, I'm not seeing where this is a problem. Congratulations on making a decision in your own best interest. You'll be a lot happier for it. One of my cousins got one, and I don't know what size G or, I mean, it was unbelievable. And she had them things cut way back. And she just so, her posture's different. She didn't have all this neck pain and upper back pain and stuff that she was having. And she can sleep better. All kind of stuff changed for her because I think people don't realize how much weight that is, and having it on the front of your body like that. You're like this because of the pull, of the weight, and so yeah, I think any woman who is having those kind of physical problems and can solve it with a quick surgery, you should do it. And so good. I'm glad that happened. I'm glad you did that. Hey, Canadian brother, what's up? Okay, and so yeah, don't worry about it having hindering anything, because you haven't had that. Not with this clown you just got rid of. Question number 3. This is a young man in the 35 to 40 age group from San Diego, California. To cut a long and complicated story short, we were together for almost 10 years. We have 2 kids together that are 8 and 6. We split up 2 years ago. It came out of the blue. Looking back now, I can see that perhaps I was a bit overprotective and possibly controlling at times, but she did have a self employed job. This, however, was very intermittent and she had no clue with regards to the value of money, so I ended up paying for almost everything in our relationship. She has been in a new relationship for approximately 18 months, and I'm finding it very, very hard to focus on myself and move on. She regularly asks me for money/loans and uses the kids as ammunition. I find it very hard to say no, but now realize how much of a pushover I've been. She regularly teases me with suggestive pics and false promises, and I fall for them every time. What is your advice to help me refocus on myself and move on from her? Go to court, put yourself on child support. Put yourself on child support. and there would be a set amount going towards her every month. You set up visitation and all that, and then that's the only money you give her. You can, of course, spend money on your kids when you have them with you. You can buy them what you want to, take them where you want to, get them all kind of toys and treats, but leave all that stuff at your house. Those new clothes you buy and everything, leave everything at your house. The toys you get them, game consoles, whatever it is you spend money on, you leave it at your house so that when they come over, they have those things there at your house. So she's gonna be asking you for money. What you're supposed to tell her is you need to be getting extra money from the motherfucker you fucking. Okay? Because otherwise that just makes you a dumb hoe because you fucking for free. Those are the dumbest kind of hoes. They don't even get paid. That's what I would tell her ass. She wouldn't want to ask me for no money. But like I said, first, because it doesn't sound like you have that setup. You're just giving her money willy nilly. That's not how you do it. You want to have a structured thing, and you want to every month she gonna get the same amount. You can always, petition the court or just, tell them you want to raise it up in 2 years or whatever. However you want to do it. That's up to you. I don't know what your income is, your expected projected income increases and all that stuff. You know that though. So you put pencil to paper, you figure it out, and you go down to the court, you file the paperwork, and then you get set yourself up on child support. And then that will alleviate all of this drama, all this trying to tease you and all this kind of stuff. She won't have any power because everything will be tied up in that support check. And that's all she gonna get out of you. Okay? You want to, you're gonna take care of your kids, but you're gonna do it in a way that it removes her from the equation as much as possible. Let's move on to question number 4. This is a female in the 45 to 50 age group from Austin, Texas. The first letter was from Dallas, wasn't it? I'm a black female in my late 40s. I met a lovely man almost a year ago, and we've been dating long distance with a few visits in between. It's completely safe and abiding by all guidelines, of course. Okay. We get along great. We're making tentative plans for the future. Everything seemed to be lining up well. However, more and more, I'm starting to feel like he very much resents the fact that I earn a good salary, a very good salary. I grew up extremely poor, and I dug my way out of a pretty awful situation. I got my degree, then I got my graduate degree, and along the way, I've taken any job that would help me get forward. Now, I'm making six figures at a local tech company and have money, savings, investments, and real estate. I'm financially stable, of course, I'm not perfect, but the fact that I grew up so poverty stricken and now I'm where I am now is a point of pride for me. Financial independence and security is extremely important. I make roughly 10 times my boyfriend's salary. Wow. Wait a minute. If you in the six figures, okay, so you must be in the twos and threes or something for you to be making 10 times what he makes. Are you in the 4 or 5 range? I'm talking about hundreds of thousands. And because that means he's making like 50 grand, right? That ain't shit. Okay, let's see. He has his own business and been trying to get it off the ground, but it's just not quite working. It's slowly progressing, but it's very slow. He's been working at this for the last several years, and he's in debt because of this business, but he quit a fairly lucrative job to do this. It's definitely something I could see succeeding, but right now it's just not where it needs to be. I'm starting to notice little comments that are somewhat indicative of his attitude towards me. He says he's okay with me or any way more money. In fact, I pay for most of our times together, and I have no problem doing that, but I think it's a problem for him and it's becoming a greater problem. He's also resentful of my successful career, which I have worked my ass off to get. He seems to think that I have it easy. I certainly do not. I worked my ass off to get here, and I know that if he was thinking rationally, he would completely know that he's being irrational at times. Long story short, it's starting to be an issue. He was dropping little hints that it's an issue for him with the comments that he is making, and I'm sort of at a loss of how to handle this one. I do not want to overstep my boundaries, nor do I want my boundaries to be crossed, and I also do not want to be penalized for being successful. What should I do here? You should dump him. That's what you should do. Let me explain something. I mean, women have, and this narrative is being pushed, especially on black women, that you should, quote, give a brother a chance, work with a blue collar dude, and this and that. And I mean, really, some of these blue collar dudes make grand theft money. We got bus drivers here making $200,000 a year because they work a lot of overtime and they've been on their job for 20 years or something. They're at the top of the food chain, and they get primo routes and they get the first choice at overtime and holidays and all that kind of stuff because they at the top of the pecking order. So they making grand theft money. Okay, you can have guys who are longshoremen, same thing, seamen, same thing. So just because a guy's not working a white collar corporate job does not mean he's not in a high income bracket. But what you have is you you have a man who doesn't appreciate the struggle that you went through to get to where you are now. He's just looking at where you are and being mad because he's not there. So it's like he's set himself up to be in competition with you, not for you guys to be working as a team. So what I would suggest that you do is tell him, I'm noticing that you're getting very resentful of the work that I put in to get to where I am. You make it sound like I should feel bad because I make more money than you, or I have this and I have that. And I refuse to feel bad. I busted my ass to get this. I grew up eating, whatever, living this kind of way. Now I don't have to do that because of all the hard work and the years and years of work I put in to make sure that I have a financially stable future. But what I'm getting from you is that you resent seeing that. And I'm telling you, I worked too hard for this, and it's easier for me to get rid of you than it is for me to hide my greatness and the determination that got me here. I'm a success because I was determined to be one. And I never hated on nobody else because they were successful. Instead, I strive to be like them. But you don't do that. And so it's making me very uncomfortable to see how you talk to me and these little snarky remarks that you made. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be around you. So we're through, sir. We're done here. And then in the future, find you a man who is, so what dude did, he jumped too soon, especially with COVID. He should have kept his job and just worked his side hustle, worked his company as a side hustle. He could even cut back his hours, whatever hours he needed to keep, his benefits and stuff until he got his business up to speed. Then you quit. You don't just jump out there with no reserves and no real plan in place and no customer base and all the stuff that you need to make sure your business is going to be a success. He moved too fast. That's what it sounds like. And so he most likely, is his business is going to fail. And one thing you don't want to be is around when he starts reaching his hand out talking about, can you help a brother out? My business, my business. So you want to dip now, okay? I'm trying to tell you, you better dip out. Well, he all, and you paying for dates and all that kind of shit. Girl, I wish I would. I'm not buying a nigga a can of Campbell's soup. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You a man and you don't have no money? I don't understand what kind of man that is that's broke. And you out here trying to get your dick wet? Nigga, you need to be getting you a second job. That's what you need to do. You need to do your business and a job. So you have some money like a man is supposed to. Okay? I'm trying to tell you. Let's move on to question number 5. This is a female, 30 to 35, from Montreal, Canada. I'm not quite sure what the issue may be with this situation. I've been dating somebody for several months, and if I had to count the number of dates, it'd probably be, I don't know, 8 or 9. I've tried to create some passion, including texting, and when I'm with him, he definitely responds to texting in terms of having a physical relationship. But when I actually see him, he's not passionate at all. And I don't think it's because he doesn't care for me, and I'm definitely not used to this because my prior relationships have involved a lot of passion, especially in the beginning. I just can't figure it out. I really believe he cares for me, but at some point you have to cut your losses. I'm a passionate person. I need touching and that sort of thing in a relationship. Got to give it one more try. I invited him tomorrow night to swim at my pool. I don't want to come on too strong, but on the other hand, I don't want to go forward with him for whatever reason. This is how he operates. It's a bit perplexing because I know he's been married and divorced twice, and I know he's had some girlfriends after that. I can't imagine him not being somewhat passionate during any of those relationships. Hmm. Okay. So you don't, in terms of us having a physical relationship, but when I see him, he's not passive. So that means you all these dates you haven't slept with him yet, and you trying your hardest. Well, you know what I get from this is he's been married and divorced twice. He's got a little dick. He's got a little dick, and that women don't, you know. He's like he don't even want to get started because he already know how it's going to end. What you saying is that it? Is that all? That's all you got? What am I supposed to do with that? Where's the rest of it? Things like that. He don't want to hear that. So he enjoys being around you and all that kind of stuff, but he already knows what's going to happen. I'm just saying, it's just written right here. How you going to go through two wives and you only in your 30s? Girlfriends and married and divorced twice. That means he can't fuck. That's what that means. And he's got a little dick. So what I'm going to suggest to you is you cut your losses and move on. I mean, what? I mean, you know what I mean? Am I lying though? Who has two wives and a bunch of different girlfriends and you can't keep a woman and you only in your mid 30s? That is one or the other or both. So yeah, but she just she trying all hard. That's not normal for a dude in his 30s to be that hesitant to jump somebody's bones. He's scared because he know what's gonna happen. Either that or he's got he's an instant dude. So it's one of them three. But still, that's still covered under can't fuck. So it's still two. I'm just second guessing myself. But yeah, he can't fuck or he has a little dick, and under can't fuck includes being an instant Johnny. Well, we don't know what kind of salary he got. She didn't say all of that. But I'm telling you, let's move on. Question number 6. I would not waste my time. Because you start trying to get busy and the dude is like not really that interested and you in your 30s and he start dipping and dodging. I'm like, okay, what are you gay? You got a STD you need to heal up before we get busy. What's going on? You know me, I'ma just ask you and see what he says. But other than that, if he says no, no, it's nothing like that, then that means it eliminates those external things, and that means it's like either your shit is like on midget status, or you can't you don't know what to do with it, and it's over so fast. Well, we never know. We don't know if he's suspect, but that could be it. But I don't think that's it, because he's had it's. I don't think that's it. I think it's one of those other things, like I said. And he just knows what's gonna happen and how she gonna be jumping up, being like, "What the fuck? I waited 10 days for this." Oh, I'm just saying. It took you till you was 40. Oh, poor Sue. Yeah, now we don't do the pinky finger. Can't do it. All right, let's move on to question number 7. Female 26 to 29 from Rockhampton, Australia. Ooh, I wonder where that is. It's really starting to bother me how often my partner has a shower. I have mentioned this to him a few times now, but we are now on day 4 of him not having not washed at all. Okay. I shower every day. However, I realize a daily shower isn't really needed for everyone. But am I being unreasonable to think he should be washing at least every other day? No, that's not unreasonable. All I can think about is that his body hasn't been washed in 4 days. And as much as I love him, it's really off putting. I haven't even wanted to sit near him tonight. He seems to think it is a bit of a joke, or that's voice for you. He's in his 40s, by the way. He's not a teenager. My partner hasn't been furloughed or working at home. He's been working all the way through, so I can't even use that as a possible explanation. He works outside, so I'm sure no one at work would really notice him smelling it. I guess they don't get as close to him as I do. He doesn't smell horrendous right now, but he has that slightly unwashed smell when he's close to me. And it's the fact that I'm very aware that he hasn't washed in 4 days. I just think it's a bit grim. Grim. Oh, the choice of adjective. I really don't want to keep having to prompt him because it's just me being a nag. I have said to him when he gets to 3 or 4 days that it's too long. Sometimes he will be on the ball, but it's way too many times now that he has gone this long. I'm fed up of saying something. He gets up early, so has his showers at night. And he will say in the evening he's off for a shower soon. But then he gets comfy and basically can't be arsed and doesn't have one. Basically, I mean, surely it's basics to shower more than twice a week, especially when he's been at work all day doing a manual job. Oh no, he should be showering daily. It's really getting me down now, but can I really leave someone for not showering as much as I want them to? Or can I? Yes, absolutely, because it's not showering, it's his grooming and the funk. So it's like, if he's not washing his pits, that means he ain't washing his ass. He ain't washing under them testicles. He got nut cheese. He's stinking. And then he getting into bed with you. And you gonna lay next to him and be like touching him and stuff? Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, no. Can't do it. Can't do it. And then it's like, then they want to be like in the bed naked and stuff, having half washed ass. You get up, you got skid marks on your sheets and shit. Oh no, no. Can't do it. Girl, you better than me, because I would have been told his funky ass, get your funky ass up and go and take a shower, you nasty motherfucker. You're getting in the bed with me, funking up my sheets. Probably got fleas and shit on you. Working outside with dust mites and shit all over you. Mosquitoes and crap hiding in the cracks and crevices of your ass. Get your fucking ass up and go wash. Don't come back and tell you don't. Your ass better be smelling like ivory soap, okay? You know how that ivory soap smells. But my thing is, if I have to tell you to wash your ass more than one time, we're breaking up, sir. Because that means you trying to put me in the role of being your mama. Mamas don't fuck their kids, not normal ones. So it's like either you gonna be my child or you gonna be my man. Which one do you want? And in order to get this, you need to be smelling fresh and clean. Put on some masculine smelling cologne or some shit that makes me want to bury my nose in your chest and your neck and stuff because you smell so good. Then it'll be on like Donkey Kong. But instead, I'm on the other side of the room because the fumes are coming off of your pig pen ass. I'm not trying to be about with no sticky ass man. Girl, and them feet. And men's funk is like double duty. It's like, no. Y'all have some special funk. That masculine funk. That should have knocked you down. No. Oh, girl, oh my God. Yeah, you know it unless she be changing the sheets like on the daily. Cause that's just he working outside. It's not like he's an office worker not sweating or something. You know what I mean? In an air conditioned office, the most he's moving is his mouth. So they don't tend to work up a sweat. You know what I mean? They don't tend to get that funky, and they're not really doing that. They inside in air conditioning. But you guys, but still, every other day, even then. But you working outside doing manual labor, and you want to bathe every 4 or 5 days. Oh, you nasty motherfucker! I just cannot. Shut up, Diana. Say she's smelling like a dead body. Oh, yeah, I see now. He wouldn't. Girl, so you were trying to ask if that's a good reason to break up? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you're going to get cooties from his ass. That is a real disease. Cooties. Oh, stop it, Sue. Stop. He's got them like harpy toenails where he can hang on branches and shit. Oh, no. No. Can't do it. Ugh. Question number 8, male, 30 to 35, from Lakewood, New Jersey. Had a few weeks of texting with a woman. The vibe was okay. I suggested we meet in person. She suggested a video chat. We spoke and communicated well enough, but I got a tone of angry. Not focused at me, but general anger. Anyway, I messaged afterward and said that she came across as a wonderful person, but I didn't think it would work out as I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Her first reply was that I am an asshole, and then the "you" word. I didn't reply to either of them. I just blocked and deleted her. I'm still boggled from the response. I know women often get this sort of treatment from men, which is unacceptable, but this is the first time such naked aggression has been directed towards me in face of attempting to prevent hurt feelings. Although I did have another stalkerist match online, but it was a bit different. Okay, so what's the question? I guess you just want to tell me about, how the lady was mad or something. I don't know, because there's no question here, dude. I don't know what you wanted to say, but all I can add to this is, I'm just going to say this. This is why Deborah does not do online dating. I have yet to hear anything that would make me see this as a beneficial way to spend my time. Everybody talks about the whack jobs that they meet on dating sites. And when people have kind of like issues, 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 mental issues, emotional issues, physical issues, verbal issues, you know, uh, d- drug issues, learning disability issues, speech pattern, whatever issues. I mean, whatever's wrong with them that makes them be really low on the dating scale, not really being able to connect with people, in the real world on a face-to-face basis. Of course, they're lonely. Of course, they want companionship. Of course, they want some booty and all this other stuff. They want those things. But when people meet them, they don't want to be bothered with them because they're weird. They turn people off. And so you have a plethora of those types of people online trying to find somebody to spend some time with. So you go and you meet them, she got all mad and stuff. She got angry, want to call you all them names and stuff just because you didn't want to meet her after y'all video chatted. Some people have that because they think they're being funny, but their sarcasm is like a knife. And the joke is always you. They always make you the butt of their jokes. So it's very, passive aggressive. And some people don't do well when she don't know why she did it. She just acted stupid. But you don't have to be bothered with that, and that was very good that you picked up on it and that you just dipped out of that situation, because this way, if you had met her or brought her to your house or something, you could have a stalker on your hands. You tried to get away from this chick the way she reacted. That don't even make no sense. It's just a video chat. Ugh. Anyway, let's move on to question number 9, female 225 from Noble Park, Australia. Hmm. So I'm getting some conflicting views on this from my friends, and I just wanted to get a more mature person's opinions on it, even though I'm fairly certain my gut instinct isn't leading me wrong. I met this guy online and we decided to meet up for a date. The date went really well, and I felt like I liked him a lot. I ended up inviting him over afterwards and we slept together. I don't normally do that, but I also don't see anything wrong with it if you really hit it off with the person. However, right after we slept together, he said, "So I guess this means we're dating now." And I kind of just said, "Huh?" And he said, "Oh, well, I just mean we're going to keep seeing each other." So I said, "Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see you again." So over the course of the week, we're texting until our next date, which we scheduled for the following weekend. And he starts mentioning that he wouldn't want to hear about how other guys have talked to me online because he has a quote slight jealous side, which I thought was a bit much to say after only one date. Then the weekend comes and we actually go on our date. The entire time he's cracking jokes about, like, "Well, I call you my girlfriend, but you won't date me," or "We could do X, but you won't date me." And it was making me really uncomfortable. So then at the end of the night, he straight up asked me why I wouldn't date him. And I was like, "Because we barely know each other, and that seems way too soon to me." And he just kept saying how he didn't understand why I sleep with him, but I wouldn't date him, and just on until I finally said I should go. And then I told him I just didn't think this was going to work out because he clearly wanted to move a lot more quickly than I did. I'm about to kick your little narrow ass. I have some friends who think I overreacted and that just means that he's a serious guy or something because he wanted to be exclusive so soon. I think it's a sign of concerning, borderline possessive behavior, considering, as I said before, we barely know each other. I guess I just want your thoughts on whether or not my reaction was understandable. No, your reaction's stupid. Let me tell you what. There are people that still have values and morals on this planet, and if you had dated him for more than 15 minutes, you would know that. This guy obviously is that kind of person where he feels like by the time you sleep with somebody, that means that, there's like emotions involved. Otherwise, you just, in his mind, just a hoe, just dropping your drawers, just jumping on everybody's dick just because the wind blew from east to west. So you presented yourself to this guy who obviously has this mentality about intimacy which you didn't take the time to find out. You just, did what you wanted to do. These are the repercussions of that. That's why you take your time. You got to figure out who a person is. Is he the kind of dude who's serious? He only going to sleep with the woman that he wants to be with. Not every dude is a hoe. Some of them really, are really into like not sleeping around because maybe they have fears about disease or getting somebody pregnant or something, but they really were raised in that kind of mindset where they only want to sleep with a woman that they really like or in a relationship with. There are a lot of young men like that. So you did, but you didn't take the time to figure that out. Is he just a bed hopping hoe type of dude, or is he the more serious minded? This is a relationship kind of situation that I want before I sleep with somebody, dude. You didn't find out. And so but now you're saying you trying to charge him with a crime because you moved too fast, invited him to your house, and then jumped his bones in your house. You're trying to make that his fault. That's your fault. You did that. So in the future, keep your fucking panties on. Okay? You doing too much. You doing too much. You out here, you picking up dudes online and then bring them to your house, A, and then B, sleeping with them. Both of them moves was stupid as hell. Okay? You lucky you was still alive to write this fucking letter to me, wasting my time with this dumb shit. Don't be doing that dumb shit. You don't bring motherfuckers to your house that you met on the internet. I cannot believe this. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, young men who have strong family values. I mean, I don't know if, what if there's a religion or what. I'm not going to go that far because a lot of them have that and they're not any associated with any religion at all. But if you have to take your time as a woman to talk to the guy, spend time with him, ask him questions and figure out what kind of man he is. What kind of man he is includes that as well as, is he a person of integrity? Is he responsible? Is he fiscally responsible? Is he got a work ethic like? What's his family values like? I mean, these are all things that you need to find out before you start dropping your panties and sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. This letter here makes no sense. You need to get your shit together, chick, because you're doing too much and you're behaving in a way that is just really ridiculous considering the times that we live in. You doing too much, and this the kind of shit that be putting people in position where they end up missing or dead. Stop this. Stop this right now. Don't you ever do any shit like that again. I'm boggled from the response. Whew. All right, let's move on. Question 10, male, 18 to 21 from Bradford, West Yorkshire in the UK. I met a girl my age, 21, on Bumble last week, and we have been texting and flirting nonstop. I felt our personalities matched and that she would be someone I would enjoy spending time with. We met in person today and got lunch, watched a movie, cuddled a bit on the couch, and it was very nice. When I was with her, something felt off, though, and I was uncomfortable, but I had no idea why. When I took her home and was driving back to my place, I was thinking over the day, and it dawned on me. Her mannerisms, personality, and even her appearance remind me of my sister. It was so easy not to notice just texting, but meeting in person is hard to overlook. I know I can't keep leading her on if I know it won't work because I'm uncomfortable with this. Is there any way to bring it up or express it to her that it won't sound horrible? I know that the sooner the better, but she was so excited about today and told me how much of a great time she had that I feel horrible and just want to push her away. But that isn't fair and certainly isn't the right thing to do. How do you suggest I handle this weird development? Huh. This is, I'm on the fence here because if you get along well with your sister and this girl has a personality similar to that, in your eyes, to your sister, is that a horrible thing? I mean, I'm sure there's millions of girls that have a personality similar to your sister if she's an enjoyable person to be around. You know what I mean? The only part that might be kind of icky is that they kind of look alike. The mannerisms is like, eh. I mean, how many personality types are there? I mean, every 10th, 20th person gonna have a personality and manners and stuff like somebody else. But if she kind of looks like her, that's something that could be kind of shaky. And that might throw you off, especially as y'all start trying to get intimate. So I understand where you're going with this. So the kindest thing to be to tell her, I really enjoy you, and I know this is going to sound really weird, but I just cannot date you. And she's going to say, why? It's because, you know, you remind me too much of my sister. And let me explain. And then you explain to her and say, it's just kind of creeping me out. And I just, I don't feel, I just, it makes me feel really weird and uncomfortable. And I just don't want to do that. I don't want to put you in that kind of situation, nor do I want to put myself. I need somebody that don't remind me of a family member, not my mama, not my auntie, not none of my sisters. Shut up, Leandra. You know, um, I no, I don't know and it's nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You're a lovely person. I love my sister to death, but she's my sister, not my girlfriend. And I just don't see how that's gonna work. And I'm just really sorry that it took me all this time to figure it out after we spent time together. That's when it hit me. And then just be honest with her. She might be like me and just laugh and be like, damn, that's fucked up. This is going to be when I'm old and I tell my grandkids about the time somebody broke off with me, I'm going to tell them this story. In which case, you guys can make a joke out of it if she's really got, a great personality. But you got to tell her. You got to tell her. You have to tell her. Good luck. Let's move on to question number 11. This is from a female in the 30 to 35 age group from Yonkers, New York. How do I become more approachable in public? I have RBF. Oh, resting bitch face. And I never get approached in public. I know I've not been out much with COVID, etc., but I have been at work through most of it, and it's been like that for me always. So I know I have RBF, resting bitch face, and if I'm with someone, I try to look more animated, but if I'm alone, I just can't walk around grinning like the Cheshire Cat, can I? So how can I change my facial expression or body language to be more approachable? Have I even understood what is meant by more approachable? You probably do, but I'm going to tell you what. You don't want to be approachable in public, especially in New York. What's wrong with you? Do you know that looking approachable in a city where there's like a plethora of nignogs, that you will be followed down the street and harassed and catcalled and touched inappropriately, and all kinds of horrible things will happen where you will want to have your RBF back because that's like a force field against nignoggery. Okay? You don't want that. What you have to, when you're in public. Now, what you want to do though is if you are on a date or you see someone you know or you see someone you like, you want to be able to control that, turn it off as you need to. So you want to get in the mirror. I know it's going to sound crazy. You're going to get in the mirror and start practicing your expressions. What you have to do is look at what your face looks like when you're thinking certain thoughts. So you think, oh, this guy's really cute. And look at your face and see what your expression looks like. You want to adjust your face that shows appreciation for what you're looking at. So you see a guy who's looking cute, right? My face, I'd probably be like, I would do something that would give it away that shows, ooh, what your name is, stuff like that. But you don't want to, you don't walk around grinning like a Cheshire cat because then people will think, that you're on some kind of meds, and you don't want to be approachable on the street. But I am in agreement that you do need to learn to control your face so that you can portray the proper emotions at the proper times with the proper dude in the proper setting. That is not walking up and down the street with a bunch of broke, unemployed knuckleheads that don't do shit and is useless. Okay? You go into the mirror, just be real. That's it. That's what you got to do. Do it in the privacy of your own home. Like I said, associate certain thoughts with your facial expression, and then you can start to match them up so that you'll know when I think this or I feel this, because of this thought, my face is going to automatically start looking like this. So you'll feel more comfortable with, what you're projecting. But it's going to take practice. It's not going to be anything you can just get over right away. but it'll be good for you. So, devote 10 minutes or so a day to doing that for a week or two, and then you should be all right. Well, yeah, that's it. If you in a position where you can cross your legs, you might be standing up. If you cross your legs when you stand up, it looks like you got to go pee pee. That's not cute. So I mean, you got to adjust what's going on for the situation. But the main thing is, no matter what you do with your body, they look at your face. Men like to look at faces, and so that's what you need to concentrate on. Everything else will go, fall in place. But start with your face. Mm. Yeah, that cross leg, doing what we used to call it when I was a little kid, the pee pee dance. You cross your legs and you start hopping. It might be mysterious, but some men don't like a lot of lipstick. They don't like a lot of makeup. That's a turn off to them. I mean, some makeup, yes, but you know how some of these women be doing like a 30, 45-minute makeup job with 16 layers of shit and all this contouring and all this old kind of stuff before they even leave the house. So it's like an hour and a half for them to get ready to do anything because they got to put all these different layers of war paint on. You know, most dudes don't like it. It gets on their clothes and stuff when they try to go in for a hug or kiss you. So, think about that kind of stuff. It's all gone after dinner. Yeah, I don't know. The only time I really wear makeup is on the show. The only reason is because if I don't, the light is so harsh that I just look like a ghost. So the color, helps me look like I have some features because without it, it's just horrible. Yeah, you can use a little color. You don't have to do all that stuff. Plus, that shit wrecks your skin unless you are super diligent about doing your, nightly makeup removal routine. Like the cleanser and the toner and the liquid makeup remover kind of cleanser. And then you go back and then you wash all of that off and then you tone, then you moisturize. Sometimes you put on a mask. I mean, all that stuff, it takes a lot of time. I couldn't see doing all that. Yeah, that's war paint. Looking all crazy. They have all these different colors on their face and stuff. I'm like, girlfriend, what is you doing? Is it really like that? You got to feel like you need to do all of that to just feel good about yourself? It's kind of scary. Let's move on to question number 12. 12, well, how many did I say we have? I knew it was a lot. Male, 30 to 35 from Scarborough, Canada. This has happened a few times and happened again yesterday. I called this woman from online dating and asked her something fun that we talked about in our chat. Then she answers and goes into interview mode. What do you do for work? Where are you from? Etc. I find that I'm spending the whole conversation just answering biographical information. And when I'm just about finished, then she'll ask another question. The only way I can ask her anything is if I say, well, how about you? As I'm finishing my answer. Would it be rude or hurt my chances if I said something about asking if I should send her my resume as well if we're going to do an interview, or say that I'd rather have more of an organic conversation and learn something about her? I don't know if I'm expressing it right, but just something or some way to get out of feeling like I'm being interviewed and judged by everything I say. This has happened on quite a few first dates as well. I like for us to learn about each other, but with a natural flow of conversation. I get kind of uncomfortable and don't find it fun to be interviewed. How do you suggest I handle this type of thing? I talked about this very issue because a lot of women do this. In my video, where I talk telling women how to find out how a man thinks. It's called The Man Behind the Mask. And it talks about, early dating and the kind of things that you should be asking a potential partner so that you know who and what the guy is all about, right? You get in deeper conversation. And I specifically say in there not to fire questions at the guy like you Oprah or Barbara Walters or some Connie Chung or somebody. It's supposed to be a conversation so that there's give and take. And I specifically addressed this very thing. So what you got to understand is a lot of times when people do this kind of stuff, they're nervous as hell. They don't know how to do it. You also have to factor in the fact that when people are doing online dating, they usually don't have good social skills because otherwise they could have met somebody offline. Okay, so there's a little of that as well. So what I would suggest is when the woman, she starts firing those questions at you, say, um, okay, Barbara Walters, when do I get a turn? Or, well, I answered two or three, whatever, three questions of yours. Now it's your turn to answer some for me. Just shut her down. Just interrupt her. You know, I I don't understand why people don't. Then you could tell that there's an issue there because they're looking at you, right? They're on a first date. They're looking right at you, and they don't read body language really well. So that's why a lot of people have like these issues where they're kind of they on the spectrum, and so they don't really get the finer nuances of expressions, tonal qualities, body language. They're not good at reading any of those kind of things. You have to come right out and tell them, and so that you could be working and even running into some of that as well. But that's how I would handle it. Gently with humor, just kind of redirect them. You know. Because nobody want to feel like they're being interviewed and there's hot lights on them and stuff. It's like, you keep asking me all these questions. In a minute, I'm going to start confessing to some crime I didn't even commit or something like, I don't know. I would say some kind of little ratchet something. I would say something. But my hair is falling down. Okay, let's move on and talk about question number 13. This is a female in the 30 to 35 age group from Charlotte, North Carolina. This is a what would you do question, Deb. I have a long term FWB, and my other female friend knows I have feelings for him. And I am away on a holiday today, and she has been mailing him behind my back and even made a pass at him. What? She doesn't know I know yet. She mailed him asking if he wanted company while I was away. Wow. And this is a friend of yours? He phoned me straight up to tell me, as we have a rule of do what you want, just not with friends. So I'm in no way angry at him, but I'm very angry at her and don't know what to do about it, to be honest. Things between me and my FWB have heated up lately, and he's moved in, which she knows. Oh, so that ain't no FWB no more. So I just don't get why she would do this. She's recently split up with her ex and has gone through 6 relationships in the last year. And she can't seem to stand staying single. But there are plenty of guys out there. There's no need to go for mine. By the way, she doesn't even know the boy apart from on rare occasions. She's seen him with me maybe 6 times at most. So there's no need for her to be mailing him at all like this. How did she get his email? Did you do that? Or was it on like some group email or something? You're supposed to send those BCC. You put all the email addresses in BCC and you put yourself as the sender and the sole recipient so that other people cannot see the other people that you're sending it to's email addresses. Okay? Y'all listen to this. This is an important part of handling your shit as a woman. You don't be giving other bitches your man's email address. You send all the shit you send it to everybody. You send it in a BCC. Okay? Now, for how you're going to address this, when you come back from your holiday, you are going to call your friend over to your house. And then she's going to find out the dude had done moved in. And then you say to her, he told me what you did as soon as I was out of town, you little backstabbing hoe. So I'm going to tell you this. If you've shown yourself not to be a friend to me, I don't know what kind of disloyal shit you trying to play, but it didn't work. He thinks you a hoe. I think you a hoe. And I don't trust you anymore. So here's all the little shit that you gave me as gifts during our friendship. Anything I gave you, you can keep it, throw it away, give it to Salvation Army. I don't care what you do with it. But once you leave out of this door right here, lose my number. I don't want no parts of you. I don't want you around in my life at all. And that's what you tell her because as this situation moves forward, or even if there's another guy in your life, she's showing herself to have a certain kind of character. That's not somebody that you want in your life. You don't want her around when you have a serious relationship because she's going to be trying to mess with your dude. You don't want her around when you're married. She's going to be trying to mess with your husband. This is, I'm usually, if you have a good female friend, you have a good female friend. But this woman has shown herself not to be a good female friend. She doesn't even understand boundaries. Because even if you were only with an FWB, if it was, it's still trifling and nasty for her to be trying to tip behind your back to spend time with dudes, especially when you out of town. See? So either way, I mean, whether you guys are getting closer or not, the fact that she made this move is just trifling. It's just trifling. So you get rid of her, okay? Just not a friend, not anymore. That's not what I would do. But I would make sure she came to the house though, because she gonna think it's all good and she got away with it right. And she gonna see dudes sitting right there, and then that's when you hit her with the, what they say, hit her with the good old 1-2. Yeah, she's super shady. Thank you, Mary Elizabeth. That's a perfect phrase. Question 14. This is a female, 26 to 29 from Atlanta. Ladies of the squad, how do / would you feel about your significant other constantly giving you their unsolicited opinion? I constantly hear little remarks and critiques from my boyfriend. Like I just cut my bangs and he said he liked them how they looked before. When I wear short shorts, he'll pipe out, "Whoa, baby's whole ass is hanging out." Just shit like that. What is this guy, 5? I mean, I get upset about it somewhat recently and told him that if I wasn't asking for his opinion, I didn't want to hear it. And he genuinely did not understand why I didn't like it. When I asked him if he would like if I did the same thing, he just said that he wouldn't mind since my attraction to him was the most important opinion to him. It's frustrating and frankly makes me feel annoyed and shitty, and I don't know how to better explain why this is an issue. Generally, he's very nice and vocal about me looking cute or beautiful and gives me plenty of vocalized validation. So maybe he has a hard time separating the two. Any input from you, Deb, and the ladies is appreciated. So you guys share your thoughts on what you think that she should do about her man giving his unsolicited opinion. And it sounds like, he's just making some stupid comments. He don't have nothing else to, he don't know how to say anything. It's like, okay, so you wearing short shorts. Whoa, baby's whole ass is hanging out. What is that supposed to mean? Like, does he like it or not? I'm not clear on that. Is that a criticism or is that a compliment? You know what I mean? I'd want to know what you trying to say. Okay, then you cut your bangs. He said he liked them how they looked before you cut them. You supposed to tell him, well, you ain't the deputy sheriff of my hair. I do what the fuck I want to do with my hair. Or whatever I do with my hair, you gonna like it, motherfucker. Do I make myself clear? I don't want to hear any critiques from you about my hair ever again. Stuff like that. You just shut that shit down. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, I just don't tell me nothing. I don't want any man to give me his unsolicited opinion about Jack. If I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. You just parrot back what I told you to say. But I don't need their opinion about anything to do with my life. The only man who I used to ask my husband his opinion sometimes, and my dad, of course, and sometimes my older brother, I'll ask him stuff. But, generally, I make my own decisions and I don't look for men to give me any kind of anything. Because who told them that they had that kind of power? Most of their own shit is all raggedy and toe up. So how you going to be trying to have an opinion about what I do? Trying to direct me? Get out of here. So anyway, letter writer, look in the chat since you asked the ladies of the squad for their opinion as well. You heard what I said. Check out, what they have to say as well. That'll be your complete answer. Let's move on to question number 15. This is from a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Denver. My brother and his wife are presently separated due to incompatibilities, end quote. My stepbrother has always been jealous of my brother because he has had more opportunities in life because of our dad. Although we thought they had moved past and were actually close now. He was even the most sympathetic when we all found out about the separation and was 100% on my brother's side. All three of them are in their early 30s, a few years older than me. My sister-in-law is pregnant and doesn't really have any family of her own, so I visit her often to keep her company and help with anything she may need. She started mentioning a month after they separated that my stepbrother had started texting her a lot and offering to help her. She finally took him up on the offer a few days ago because she needed help to move some furniture and assemble the new stuff for the baby's room. I went to see her yesterday and she told me that he tried to kiss her. She said she pushed him away and that she was scared he would tell my brother. She showed me their messages and I do think he was trying to take advantage of her while she was vulnerable. He was sending her messages implying that my brother wasn't faithful to her and that he most likely never loved her. Wow. He tried to make it seem like my brother viewed her as a temporary charity case to make himself look and feel good, and that's why he isn't there for her during the pregnancy. He would say things like he would step up to look after his nephew and that she wouldn't have to do this alone, etc. I'm furious on my brother's behalf, and I want to tell him not only so he knows what a snake my stepbrother is, but also because he can intervene and get him to leave his wife alone. I'm not sure if this is the right approach, though. What are your thoughts? Of course, it's the right approach. How you gonna leave that lady there in a vulnerable state, pregnant, in the house by herself with some dude trying to prey on her? You should have picked up the phone and told your brother right then on the spot. You shouldn't even waste the time writing to me. It's his obligation to protect his unborn child and the woman who's carrying the kid. Okay, that's his job. Whether he feels like him and the woman are not gonna make it, that's irrelevant. The kid is what he's supposed to be protecting, and that means from any and everybody. This dude is. I'm not feeling him at all. I'm not feeling him at all. And this is very worrisome because she's there by herself and this dude knows where she lives. And since he's family, she might be trying to, like let him in and all this kind of stuff. You call her and you tell her, I said, don't you ever be alone with him again. As she gets more and more pregnant, she's going to be less and less able to defend herself from him. Your brother either needs to move back in till that baby's born, or you guys gonna have to like tag team and make sure that somebody's around her to ward this dude off. And your brother and dude need to have a conversation. And if dude gets lippy, then they need to have a fist fight. And I hope your brother can fight and punch the fuck out of him for what he did and said. So you don't have her send you those screenshots or forward you those texts that he sent so you can show to your brother. Okay? Because he might not believe it. You're going to need some proof. We need to get them likes up, people. I just saw it's like, only 51 likes out of all these folks up in here. Come on, press that like button. That would be very nice. Press it, press it. Wow, this is really sad. So he's going to be, he's going to be the uncle. And that's how he's acting towards the baby's mom. That's his half brother's wife. Ugh, this guy. See, there's nothing telling where you have, when people are jealous of what you have that they don't, they will try anything they can to destroy it. Some people emulate, they want to be like you, so they go get their own. But that doesn't tend to be the majority. Most people opt for the low road and they want to destroy what you have. They don't, because they don't have it, they don't want you to have it either. So this is bad. This is really bad. Make sure you tell your brother, like, as soon as you hear this response. Tell him. Question 16, male, 18 to 21, from Chatham, Kent, UK. Dad, my situation is this. My best friend slept with a girl that I had been going on dates with and who he knew that I liked. I'm still heavily in the processing stage for this, just back to my bed after walking home from his place. I'm really trying to figure out where I should go in the relationship with my friend. I matched with this girl on Tinder a few weeks ago and we instantly hit it off. I know a connection less than a month old really shouldn't warrant much, but after a year of nothing, it was incredibly refreshing to find someone I clicked with so well. We had the same interests, fantastic conversations, and ridiculous chemistry. I thought this girl was really special. We went on a handful of dates, but due to school and other life circumstances, we decided we probably shouldn't date, but would still keep in touch. This was the last week before she left the state, so we were trying to hang out as much as possible. She came to a party with me, and my best friend was there. We ended up hanging out at his place after. I went to the bathroom. When I came back, they suggested a threesome. I said no, because we were all hammered and there would be too many feelings involved for me. We all started to drift off, and when I heard her making out with my friend, and then she started making out with me, I didn't know what to do, so I just went along with it because I was drunk and figured it was better to be part of this than not. But after a bit, I stood up and said, I can't do this. I told them both that I have really strong feelings involved, and this would definitely lead to me feeling hurt. After I left the room, I heard them keep going. The walk home was awful. I talked to my friend about how special this girl was to me and how I hoped in the future we could make something work. Just 30 minutes before all this happened, couldn't stop thinking about it even after the talk of me making it very clear I was unhappy. They continued. I'm not terribly upset about losing the girl despite having such strong feelings for her. It's a sense of betrayal from who I thought my closest friend was that hurts the most. I never imagined something like this would actually happen to me. Maybe I'm being too sensitive, but I really would like some advice on how to handle this situation emotionally. Wow, this is hard because I'm going to tell you this. You can't have, I mean, you say you don't, you're not upset about losing the girl. You didn't lose the girl. You never had the girl. Okay, you all said that you wasn't going to date because of whatever was the reason that you said. So, you and the girl were just friends. That means it's open season for her to be with whoever she wants to. And just because you like her doesn't mean that she's obligated to like you back, sir. That's the part you seem to be stuck on. You always have a good conversation and all that stuff, but once you decide you didn't want to date her, then she's a free agent. She evidently was attracted to your friend, and so she went for it. He's attracted to her, so he went for it too. They wanted to include you in the mix, and you decided you didn't want to do that because it wasn't going to be a healthy situation for you emotionally. And I admire you, standing up for yourself, adhering to your moral stance and your values. But um, I'm kind of confused as to what your feelings are and why you're having them. I think if you think about this more logically, you realize that you in your feelings for nothing. You weren't with her, okay? You all decided you weren't gonna date. Remember? You wrote that early in the letter. That means that she's single. That means she can do whatever she want to do with whoever she want to do it with, because she's not in a committed relationship with you or anyone else. Okay? Keep that in the forefront of your mind. Then you move on to this friend, and you like, well, the friend, knows I like her. Okay, well, because you like her does not make her off limits to anybody else when she's single and available and interested in him. And I know this is really hard for you to understand. I understand how confusing this is for a young man. But if you think this through logically, you will understand where I'm coming from with this. Your feelings are illogical, and your feelings do not belong in this situation. You're not supposed to have no feelings about somebody you're not dating and who've already told you that that they're not going to date you. It's not going to be that kind of party. That means she didn't like you the way that you like her to wanted her to like you. That's what that means. Okay? This is a hard thing for you to swallow, but I'm trying to break it down to you in a way that you can just take little pieces of it and eventually be able to swallow the whole pill. But I know you're disappointed. I know your little heart is broken. I understand all of that. But you're a young man now. You need to start thinking more realistically about this kind of stuff. So you go back and you listen to my response, and each and every item on the checklist, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? Well, they was gonna do, that's how a lot of threesomes are. The guys share the girl. But she wanted to that's was where her head was. So I mean, I wouldn't if I was a dude, I wouldn't care. I mean, not like I would want to do it, but if she wanted to get busy with dude and they clicked with each other, then that just means that it wasn't the woman for me. Even though I enjoyed her company and all that kind of stuff, that's where it was going to end. And so I would be like, and be out. Let's move on to question 17. Female, 40 to 45 from Bristol, England. I've been trying to get my husband to lose weight for the best part of 8 years. Wait, for the best part of 10 years, he agrees that he could do with losing weight and says he wants to, but he wouldn't call himself fat. Personally, I would. not to his face, as he is a BMI of 30. I was nice about it, very helpful and accommodating. I cooked only good food and limited our takeaways and unhealthy foods. We went for walks, I went to the gym with him, etc., which is what he seemed to want. But I think it was just a show, as I found him sneaking food. It annoys me that he lied about it, especially when I'm putting in so much effort to help him. About 3 years ago, I told him something needed to change I was seriously not happy about. He lost a couple of pounds, not much, and put it all back on in no time. Then about a year ago, I had another serious conversation with him and told him I needed to change, and if it didn't, we couldn't continue to be together. I said I wasn't going to mention it to him ever again. Needless to say, nothing changed, and I feel hurt by this. What would you do in my situation, especially seeing how you had a long-term career in fitness? I'm not happy, and in my opinion, it's not fair on anyone being in an unhappy relationship. Have you ever heard of a woman having any success getting her man to lose weight? Do I leave without telling him why? It would be devastating him to say, "Sorry, you're too fat. I think, and I don't want to be here anymore, you whale." Okay, I shouldn't laugh, but um, you've put in years to try to get him to understand that, A, he's not healthy, going to be healthy, eat having all that weight around, especially in his upper body, chest area where the heart is and stuff. And then number two is you have asked him to, and you've actually told him, I'm not going to mention this again, but if this doesn't change, we can't be together. Um, Men do it to women all the time. So what am I going to say? They leave because they're not sexually attracted to their wives anymore when she gains weight. So, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm not here to tell you that is wrong and all that kind of stuff because you have to be attracted to what you're attracted to. I'm just going to say this. There's a reason, you try to get him to eat better and all this kind of stuff, but there's a reason. There's a mental and emotional reason why your husband is overweight. You didn't talk about that and you all didn't explore that at all. Sending him to a shrink would have been the answer to why this is happening and his need to sneak food and all of that. There's something going on with dude. And quiet as it's kept, I learned this as a trainer. A lot of men have eating disorders. It's just hidden. It's not talked about as much as women do because I think the women is more, I don't know, acceptable for women to have an eating disorder than a guy. But a lot of dudes have eating disorders. And some of those skinny guys, are they just really, really, really huge and they just eat, and then they go and, what is that called? Binging and purging? Or they just eat, and they just never stop. It's like they're constantly hungry. But that's an eating disorder as well. So there's something going on with your husband, lady. I don't have any idea what. Has he suffered some kind of trauma he doesn't want to tell you about? There's something where he's trying to, he's using food as a way to soothe himself. Just like some people use drugs and alcohol. He's using food. Okay? And you're treating like somebody has a joint that's misaligned and you put a band-aid on it. Oh, that should help. I should. But that's not going to realign the joint. The joint needs to be set. It's going to be painful. And that's the same thing. He needs to, figure out what's going on with his head. That's going to be painful too. It may, delve into some childhood wounds that you don't know anything about yet. But again, you have to do what's going to work for you. I can't tell people what to stay in their marriages. I'm just pointing out what you seem to have not looked at and that you might want to slow down and talk to him about seeing a shrink before you just, ditch out on your marriage of however many years. There's a reason why your husband is overeating. You need to find out what that is. Okay. Let's move on to question number 18, male 50 to 55 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I am refusing to pay for my stepson's education, and this caused a huge fight with my lady. Okay, wait, you say lady, stepson. Okay, so that don't sound like you married. Because you just say wife. Did y'all catch that up? Okay, I am 53 and she's 50 and we've been dating for 3 years. See, dating. We currently stay together as well. Right now, it's my daughter, 22, was going ahead to law school this fall, and her son, who's 18, who will be going to university soon. I also have another son who's 25, but he doesn't stay with us. My partner and I made it very clear when we moved in together that neither one of us are sharing finances. This means that she would pay her share of the bills and I would pay my share. We live in my house, so there's no rent for either of us. My partner obviously makes less than I do, and I've been able to support both my children through university, plus I own my home. My partner's son got into GW and is ridiculously expensive. Yeah, that's where my brother went to law school. And he is going to study economics, and I'm happy for him. But I made it very clear that he needed to figure out how to pay his own fees because he wasn't my child and I wouldn't fund his bill. His father offered to pay for it, and now he pulled back his offer. Ooh, I wonder what happened there. My stepson is understandably very angry and sad because his university dreams have been snatched away from him. He asked if I could fund it for him, but I told him no. GW charges nearly 60 grand on tuition alone. I'd be shelling out 300 grand for a child who isn't even mine. And if something happened to my relationship with his mother, I would never meet him again. We have only been living together for 6 months, so we don't have a strong bond anyway. My partner has been bugging me to do it. She can only afford 50,000 for him and wants me to spot the rest as a sign of good faith. I'm willing to offer him a loan, but I'm not going to give him any money. This has caused tensions in the house, and as the deadline is coming closer, the tension is getting higher. My daughter and son don't want me to pay for his tuition because this is money I can keep for my retirement. Is there any way I can explain it to him, or will this be the undoing of my relationship with this boy's mama? It's probably going to be that because she's being stupid. See, and these, it's always happens to the guys who are very nice and genteel. Because were it me, I would sit the boy down and his mother down, and I would say, "Look, am I married to your mama?" And he would say no, and she would say no. Hmm. Okay, was I fucking and when you got created? Was I there? Well, no, no. So that means you got a daddy, right? And that's your mama, right? Well, yeah, yeah. Okay, so then it's three things that I just said that I don't have no part in. Why are you trying to dig in my pocket to pay for your school? And I'm not doing that. You better join the service and get your money and get when you get out, then you can get they'll pay for you to go to law school. You're gonna have to postpone it for a couple of years though, but that's my only solution for you. My money is staying in my pocket. And your mama and you don't like it, you can get the fuck out of my house. That's your only two options. Either you accept it and you gonna like it, or you can get the fuck out. Which one shall it be? Now see, that's that Deb Savage coming out. I'm not gonna be going through all of this. Dude, you going through all these changes and trying to appease all these people and having all these explanations and all this kind of shit. You don't need to do all that. You just tell them, you ain't my kid and you ain't my wife and I'm not paying for a goddamn thing. Your pussy ain't that good. Okay? That's just the way it is. And yeah, I probably would be broken up, but you know what? Good looking man, 53 years old, got a little change, got some property and investments and shit. Handle yourself responsibly financially. You could get a woman probably next week, have a new one. So don't worry about it. Yeah. Well, I don't know. They only been living together for 6 months. So, I think they moved in there. They thought because you own the house or something, you got some money that they was going to be able to put the tap to you. You better have all your shit locked up in a safe deposit box or a safe or something where only you could get in it. It's, with this kind of activity going on, I don't trust them. They're going to be trying to dip in your pockets and put something on your credit card or something. You better lock your shit down. Put some codes on your credit and stuff so nobody can open no accounts in your name or put nothing on your name unless they call you and you give them a secret password. You better start working on that kind of stuff. Make sure your shit is protected. And don't you put her name on nothing. She's gonna put my name on the house. Don't you dare. The only thing that should be on your house is your two kids. So if something happens to you, the house goes to them. Make sure you handle that too. I'm just not feeling this whole energy where she's putting pressure on you to pay for her kid to go to law school. If she only got $50,000, then her kid need to find a school that's $50,000. And I'm very curious to see why the daddy offered to pay and then pulled out. That's really that one sentence is just really fucking me up. I want to know what happened. Why did that happen? What did the son do? Or did the father lose a job? I mean, what happened? So why he would say he was going to pay and then suddenly he's pulled out. There's a story there, and you left that out. Yeah, they trying to use him, but that's why I said he need to be savage about it. Am I married to you? Was I there when you got born? Did I help make you? Oh, well, then I guess I don't have no obligations or responsibilities here. You ain't my problem. In other words, they're not gonna take his house. His house is all in his name. The only way that's how he could be a problem is if I say like he's stupid and puts her name on something. But as long as he has all his shit locked up, his deed and everything should be locked up in a safe deposit box that only he has access to. Insurance policies, everything. Lock all your shit up. Yeah, he does. He sounds like a decent guy. He sounds, like somebody cool. But it's like these cool dudes always get with some ratchet ass woman that never fails. And that's her son, so she gonna be like all like, my baby's gonna be a lawyer and all this stuff. It's like, bitch, you should have been saving some more money then. Or made his little ass start working when he was 16 to start saving up his money that from his little job so he could go to law school and all this fancy shit that he wanna do. But my thing is, as a young man, he's 18 years old. He don't have no money to do what he want to do. He couldn't get a scholarship or grants and loans. Then he needs to go into the service, do his whatever it is, 2, 4 years, whatever it is, and then get out and use that tuition benefit, and then go to law school on the government. That's what you need to do. I don't even think Columbia is 60. You could go to Columbia Law or somewhere. Shit, I don't think they ain't that much. 60 grand. That's just tuition, but you got to get books and all that other shit. Oh, no. Okay, let's move on to question 19. Male, 26 to 29, New York City. How far can an FWB go? I've been having casual eggplant with my best friend's girlfriend's best friend. Okay, your best friend's girlfriend, her best friend. Okay, this is a nice little foursome here. For the past 6 months, and I really like her. I live with my best friend, and he started dating this woman and eventually moved in with her. The girlfriend's friend decided to move out to give the couple privacy. Due to COVID, it was hard to find a place, so the girlfriend suggested that I rent out a room. My new roommate works and studies in the medical field, and she's respectful of me and my home, helps with bills and groceries. She's a homebody like myself. We weren't into the club and bar scene even before COVID, and neither of us delved much into dating because we like to focus on our careers. She's a very sweet, chill person. I found it easy to coexist with her. A month after she moved in, she had a bad day and was tense and anxious. When I asked what was wrong, she broke down. This really upset me. I thought she was mugged or something, and she assured me it was a buildup of stress from work and personal issues. She leaned on me, and I held her to comfort her. Things gradually progressed into kissing and, the rest. If I'm being honest, Deb, it was the best eggplant I've ever had in my life. Wow. The next day, she winced when she sat up, and when I asked her if she was okay, she admitted that she was sore because it was her first time in years. I told her it was a long time for me, too. And she asked if I enjoyed it, which I told her, yes, it was honestly incredible. She agreed and said she didn't mind the soreness and wouldn't mind if I made her sore again. Oh, wait. You know what came to mind just now before I finished reading this? Remember that skit when Eddie Murphy was talking about being in the desert and then you get a cracker and then you eat the cracker and it's like, ooh, this is the best cracker I ever had in my life. Dude might be, having some of that going on since he said it was the best eggplant he'd ever had in his life and he hasn't had it for years. You know what I mean? He's having an Eddie Murphy cracker syndrome. But let me finish. We've been having casual eggplant ever since, almost every day and often multiple times a day. But Deb, I'm starting to fall for her. She's amazing, kind, intelligent, brave, gorgeous, and witty. We're both career driven and have the same core values. I can talk to her about anything. She makes me feel motivated and happy. Well, what's the problem? That sounds like you just lucked up on the woman for you. We work out, go grocery shopping, cook, and shower together. We sleep in my room. She tells me that she feels safe with me. I met her family, and they seem excited. She's Japanese. I'm Japanese/Middle Eastern, so I look exotic. I have no living family, and I feel that her introducing me to hers is a strong statement about my place of importance in her life. I'm just not sure if she likes me because she's always been effortlessly kind and open. We've been around each other every day for 8 months. I really want to establish a relationship, but I'm no good at verbalizing my feelings, and I don't want to push her away. How exactly do I tell her? Also, what do you and the squad think about being romantic/, physical with a roommate and about going from FWB to something serious. I think it's already serious and you just stupid. Okay, can I just be blunt? Y'all already in a relationship. You just haven't like formed the words. So this what you gonna do. This what you gonna do. After you hear this advice, maybe tomorrow or this weekend or whatever you got to work up your nerve, you going to sit home girl down and you going to say, look, I know this started off as just, whatever we started off as, but I want to solidify this shit. I want to lock this down. I want to verbally make a commitment to you. I want you to be my girl. I want to be your man. How do you feel about that? And then she gonna say, "Oh my God, I thought you would never ask." And then she's gonna be like the movie tune's gonna, the movie cue is gonna come up, and then she gonna hug you and kick that leg up in the back, and it's just gonna be just like a movie. And then you're gonna be like, "I wonder what took me so long to get my nerves up and ask her this." And then y'all could be boyfriend and girlfriend and be all official and everything be all lovely and wonderful. This this little dude, is so cute because you just so clueless. But you already in a relationship. She's sleeping with you every night. Y'all do everything together. What's wrong with y'all? I never seen two people be so dumb. People be trying to find a relationship like that. Now you think everybody's on online dating, and you just lucked up into it, and the woman live at your house with you already. She don't even have to move in. She already there. This is like perfect. All you got to do now is, finish schooling or get your career, whatever you're trying to do, and start planning your wedding. That's what you need to start doing. Because you're not gonna have a girlfriend forever. Not at your age, okay? I just want you to get over that hump. Yeah, you in the 26 to 29 age group, you're plenty old enough to start planning to have a wife. So y'all start planning your wedding, and then you can have it like next year or something, or year after that, whatever. And then you could be engaged. So you're gonna go buy her a ring after you lock this shit down. You wait about 6 months, and you're gonna pop out with the proposal. Got it? Don't be wasting time. Your ass you ain't aging backwards. You gonna get this show on the road. You know what? You guys, you sound perfect for each other. I mean, I just can't imagine two people being more on the same page. Make this happen. Don't be stupid and miss out, okay? The rest of your life, you would be mad at yourself if you fuck this up. So don't do that. Question number 20. This is a female in a 36 to 42 age group from Tacoma, Washington. When a man says he doesn't believe in marriage, what does that really mean? It means he doesn't want to marry you. How much did you write? I could just tell you the answer from that first sentence. That's what that means. He doesn't believe in marriage with you. But let's see what else she has to say. While discussing last night what we would do for my birthday, the subject of presents and what I wanted, I jokingly put my finger out and said a ring. Now, to be clear, we do this all the time. He knows I'm playing. However, this time my boyfriend just looked at me and was like, "Oh, yeah, you had a loss for words," and laughed. For some reason, this prompted him to tell me that he doesn't believe in marriage, which for some reason hit me in my gut. I don't want to get married today, tomorrow, this year, or next, but I know when I look at him, I want to one day. I know deep in my heart he's the one. I know that being a divorced woman of two kids, I never had deep love for my ex-husband because I have deep love for my boyfriend. This whole thing is shocking to me because we are living together and we have been together for 2 years. I do all that stuff for him. I cook, I clean, I do his laundry. I help him financially through his hardships. I follow him every weekend to the motocross track. I'm the only one there for him during races or life in general. Yet he's telling me that he doesn't see me as his wife. He said if I ever did marry, it would only be to make me happy. I told him I don't want to be with someone who didn't truly want to married me solely out of love. His reasoning for not believing in marriage is the religious aspect. When we met, his whole spiel was that he was looking for a wife. He said so many things to make me think, okay, one day he wants to make me Mrs. So and saying things that made me think he saw me in a light where he knew one day he wanted to marry me. He played me, didn't he? I just feel a big sense of betrayal, and I can't explain why. When men say they don't believe in marriage, it's because they don't believe in it with you, right? Well, yeah. And let's see, how long did you say y'all been together? 2 years. Yeah, yeah. You're pretty old enough to be, 36 to 42. That's plenty old enough for him to know what he wants and to be making a move before 2 years, and now he comes back with, I don't see myself marrying you, then you need to get rid of him because you're not getting no younger either. And you don't want to waste years and years and years and years of your life and get into older and older and older and older and still not have this husband that you want. So you have to tell him, well, I think it's time for you to move out because I want to get married and I want to be married to someone who loves me and who wants to be married to me. That isn't you. I accept that. I'm sad about it, but I do accept it. I respect the fact that you finally had enough courage to tell me, and they live together, so she can't ghost him. And you know, for you to, start looking for some place to move and get your things and to get out. And we're gonna part ways. That's what I would do because you're in a 36 to 44, 42 age group. You didn't say where in that range you are, but um, it's time. You don't have time to waste with him like that. Okay, so get rid of him. Let's move on to question number 21. This is from a man in the 50 to 55 age group from Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm in my early 50s for context and have had a career that deals directly with customers for over 30 years. My default polite mode has always been using sir and ma'am, Mr. and Mrs., and I feel like I'm outdated in that regard. Blame my southern grandmother. I don't want to assume and I don't want to offend, and now that the majority of my interactions are over the phone, it's a crapshoot I don't want to take. In this day and age, what is the most polite and inclusive thing to say that's still personal and friendly and engaging and makes a connection? Well, you know, I can tell you what I do because, people want to be using all these pronouns and these special things and for you to refer to one singular individual as a they and all this old shit. I'm not doing any of that. So the way around this is what I do. Because my thing, as you guys see, a lot of it is when I talk to people, when the dudes I'm talking to them, I say sir. Now, when I say sir in that tone, I'm being sarcastic. Okay, it's not like a of reverence and respect. It's just a term rather than saying nigga, but it's the same tone of voice. If you notice, sir, nigga, it's same. Okay, but it's just a different word. So I will say that to the young lads, and then I proceed to read them the riot act. So what you need to do is go ahead and ask them. This is the approach I take. Okay, so I'm talking to somebody who I don't know or whatever, and usually you have a call list or you have some clue they left a message or whatever, and they say this is Shirley Smith or this is Ronald Jones, whatever. So you would normally say sir or ma'am or something, right? But instead, you're going to, when you first get them on the phone, you say, oh, I'm returning. My name is so and so. You introduce yourself by your first name. And I'm returning a call to Ronald Jones from such, I'm from such and such a company. So he goes, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Is it okay if I call you Ronald? Or, well, how would you like me to address you? You see how I worked that in there early? Oh, yeah, it's fine. Just call me Ron. Just call me Ron. Okay, Ron, blah, 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 blah. You see how that do that without missing a beat? And you don't have to go into all of this they, we's, theirs. I mean, all this shit they be wanting the people to don't do that. You call people by their name. And even if it's a gravelly voice motherfucker that is a 60-year-old man and he says, call me Barbara, you say, well, Barbara, blah, 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 blah. Because it's on the phone and you don't give a shit what he wants to be called that turns him on. You want your money, right? I want my money. I'm doing sales, and my thing is, if as long as I get some of your money into my pocket, I don't give a fuck what you want to be. Okay, because it don't affect me. I don't have to look at you. I'm on the phone. Now I have, difference of opinion when the person's in front of me. Now you obviously looking like a dude, and then you want me to call you she. That ain't gonna happen. What's your name? I'm gonna call you that. I will never call a man she, and I would never call a woman he. Not gonna do it. Although our California lingo is everybody's dude. I mean, baby's a dude, dogs are dudes, my turtle is a dude. I mean, that's just California slang. Everybody is dude. Like dude. That's just how we talk. But I'm not gonna be saying that, you sitting up there with a graggly beard and you put a wig on your head and suddenly you want me to call you she? Motherfucker, get out of my face. How about that? I'm not going to do that. If I had a job where they tried to make that happen, I would be fired on the spot. Because I'd be like, you burly bastard. And you sitting up there trying to have somebody call you a she. Fuck out of here. I can't do that. So I will call you by your name, though. So you better be happy. That's all I'm going to do. Be happy. So, anyway, sir, from raised in the Southern by a Southern grandmother, I understand what you mean. I totally get it. I had the same problem. It's the sign of respect. That's the way we were raised. It was a sign of respect to address your elders as ma'am. And I had to get used to it when I went to Texas because even little kids like 8 or 9, here I am 19, and they were calling me ma'am, and I'm looking around to see who they talking to, and it was me because to them I was an elder. You see what I mean? So that Southern thing is really hard to get by. But the little kids though, they would have got their butts beat and whacked if they said anything or tried to call me by the first name. That's Miss Deborah. You call her Miss Deborah or ma'am. Don't you be calling her name. I didn't raise you like that. So I became Miss Deborah, Miss Deb. That name stuck. So that's what I would suggest anyway. Look at go back and listen to how I did that smooth transition, and then you just mimic that and you'll be fine. And you'll make your numbers and you won't have no problem. Question number 22. This is a female, 50 to 55, from Fayette, North Carolina. I think my son is what you call a dusty. That's the first line. We are white if you care, but I love your responses, so I want to get your take on this situation. Fayette, North Carolina. My son is 27 and got married a year ago to a woman a few years older. She has a 6-year-old son with autism. I believe she has a bit of autism as well. She uses it to get people to feel sorry for her. Recently, my husband and I went on vacation, and they came to me to say they wanted to go on an anniversary trip. But since they have gotten married, my son left his job because daughter-in-law doesn't want to stay at home by herself. She says someone might break in and take advantage of her. Now neither one of them work. He had a great job, too. My husband and I paid for them to go with us to the beach for 3 days. We paid for everything, including their separate room and food. I texted my son yesterday about attending his grandmother's birthday party, and he replies that they are on a vacation in another state. I feel like they used me to get 2 vacations. I might add that they were able to go on vacation because her son's father was killed and he received survivor benefits. Now, this child is supporting their whole family. He doesn't go to school, and she is too lazy to potty train him. Wow. Where y'all living? North Carolina. Don't they have laws about that? He is intelligent enough to do it, and she said the school needs to do it. He can't count and write his name and doesn't know his ABCs. I work with him when they are at my house, and I see that he is capable. She again tells me it is the school's job to do it, but she won't enroll him. They only come to visit so I can buy them expensive dinners. She is very particular on what I buy. I feel like I am too deep, but don't know how to break this cycle. They are adults, but don't want to go to North. Wait, they are adults, but I don't want to go no contact because of the child. How do I help myself without abandoning the 6-year-old? Oh my God! See, I can't even say this is a race thing, but I do notice that y'all, white people, tend to have much more tolerant attitudes towards having sons that are useless and be coming to you for money and trying to live off of you and all this old stuff. Not always, but I just noticed that the struggle that you have with telling them no. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. And you're going to give this some serious thought. I want you to consider the fact that your son had a job that would give him financial independence and he quit it because she was afraid to be at home by herself. That's the excuse that they're using. So once he doesn't fire. I want you to really get clear on this. He made a choice. This is important. He chose to be broke. Okay, he made that choice. So now you as his mother have to put that in a certain perspective. I could see helping somebody who got terminated, the company bellied up, the company burnt down, there was something happened where it was against his will. He had no choice in the matter. He was broadsided by it. He didn't plan it. He didn't want it. But he's like they're floundering. Okay, I could see parents who got it stepping in a situation like that because it's a crisis, an emergency. But when somebody sits there and cross their legs and say, "Oh well, I'm not going to work or I'm not going to do that because, um, my wife is afraid to be at home by herself. So I'm just going to, stick my hands in your pocket, mama." See, this is where you are supposed to draw the line. And you're supposed to say, "Look, I love you, but not that much. Okay. I don't want a son who thinks that he's going to have his hands all in my pocket and using me." Okay. So this whole thing about them coming over because they want expensive dinners, what you do is you go to KFC and you get a bucket with the sides and you sit it in the middle of the table and you tell them there's your dinner. If you come here to eat, that's what you eating. Cause I'm not doing. Or you get you some Domino's pizza. You start doing stuff like that, they'll quickly stop coming to your house. Okay, don't even get Popeyes because that's better, tastes better. They might want like that, then they will still come and say, "Mom, get you some Popeyes." No, you get that nasty Churches or KFC. It's just nasty. That's what you do. Okay, you stop giving them what they want from you. It's not your responsibility. They was grown people. They made some stupid decisions, so you're supposed to let them like crash and burn because of the decisions they make. You don't step in there taking care of them. You got the wrong. This is bad parenting. Okay, what you're doing is bad parenting. And then you say you don't want to go no contact because the kid that ain't your kid. That kid has nothing to do with you. That is not your son's child. He got a daddy and he got a mama. It's nice that you care and you're sweet. Don't get me wrong. That's a wonderful thing. And were this, a better situation for you, that would be very nice and they would be very welcoming and everything would be. But that's not your responsibility to take care of and educate some child that's not even your son's. That's not your job, lady. You're doing too much. So, I mean, you have obviously a good, caring heart and spirit and stuff. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. What I'm telling you is that you have to be very protective of yourself because since you have that attitude, that nature, people are taking advantage of it. You have to stop them from doing that. You have to put the brakes on this and you have to put up some very firm boundaries to your son and his crazy ass wife. Okay? Stop letting people use you like this. You have to have some respect for yourself and say no. It's going to be good for them to hear no. You're probably afraid, well, they won't see me and this, that. Girl, please jump on a plane and go and do what you want to do. And don't worry about them. You have worked all your life. You raised your kid. It's time for you to enjoy your golden years. You and your hubs go somewhere. Go to some senior place or something. Go to some island. And don't worry about them. They'll be fine. But they sitting at home living on survivor benefits self. I wonder how much money that is. So the kid is probably what, about 3 or 4? Because he doesn't go to school and she hasn't potty trained him. So he's probably in that 3 or 4 age group. Don't know how you don't know his name and can't count and don't know his ABCs. Mm-mm-mm. Let's move on. Question 23. What did I say? 26. So we're winding down to near the end. Yes, Cash App. Cash App. Cash App is my friend because it's on a little, like a debit card, and I can go to Bevmo and just give them that little card, and then the money that you guys send me on Cash App, it just gets sucked right off the card into Bevmo's, their wallet, the Bevmo wallet. That works. Cash App. Lady Boss, Shay. I'm sorry, I keep calling her that. Put it up in the chat room up there. It's $ Debsterism. Okay. So let's move on to question 23. This is female 2629, El Cerrito, California. Oh, we haven't had I don't think we recall ever having a letter from El Cerrito. I'm a 27-year-old female, and my partner is a 31-year-old man child that can't handle any responsibilities. Auntie Deb, I'm going crazy. And she put a whole bunch of exclamation marks. I'm really starting to grow resentment towards him. We've been living together for 2.5 years, but the beginning was very tumultuous. I had been living on my own, and he moved out of his parents' home. He had no idea how to care for a home and what is required to keep a home. After living alone, I became well aware that nobody was here to clean up my shit but me. He, on the other hand, had an annoying mom that would wipe his ass if she could. Anyways, we finally got through those troubles and developed a list of chores for him to do. He has since abandoned the chores. Hmm. This evening, I asked him to do a few things around the house, like turn off the lights that he turned on and bring up the mattress that he brought downstairs. He started complaining to me about how I give him so many chores. Then I had to beg him to bring me toilet paper and apologize for adding an extra chore to his list. We don't have any children, but I'm starting to worry if I move forward in this relationship, it will be a nightmare. Anyways, looking for advice, things to say or do, or different ways to approach this. Not ready to throw in the towel just yet, but looking for any and all suggestions. You're not ready to throw in the towel just yet. Why not? What's so great about this towel that you want to keep hanging on to it? See, again, when you have as supposed to be an adult male, but he acts like a kid and you're fucking him. How do you get excited about fucking somebody who acts like a child? See, little kids don't excite me at all. They're cute. They're fun to play with. Yeah, I play with my little cousin, play his little games with him on his little iPad, kitty iPad thing or whatever. We watch Mickey Mouse cartoons together. It's cute. I mean, it's fun to be with him. He's 6 now, just turned 6. But is that the mentality of somebody who's got that mind? Do I see that as a romantic partner? And so you women who have these kiddie like childlike men, I'm wondering how you do that. How do you sleep with them? How do you respect them? How do you go to them for advice and counsel? How does that work? And I'm being very serious right now. I just don't get it. I honestly do not understand it. So basically, especially those of you who have children, you basically have your little kids, and then you have the 6 foot tall child, and the one that you sleep with. But you're surrounded by children that need mothering, reminding, nagging, all that stuff. How does that work as far as you being an independent woman with a partner who's on your same page? That's not any, that's no, I don't understand. So, and then he just going you had to give him a list of chores like he's a 14-year-old. And then he don't do the chores. So what are the repercussions for him not doing the chores? You do the chores like his mother, right? That's what's happening. So I'm just, this is something that you need to think about. Why are you putting up with this? Why do you feel like this is the best you can do? That this guy is, like a prize that you should be hanging on to. I'm not understanding it, but that's just me. And, but give some of the stuff that I said some thought, because that's essentially what you have as a kid. You have a kid. You have another child in your house. I couldn't do it. Question 24. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I've been friends with this person for over a year now, and we're overly friendly. We hold hands and act like a couple at work, which is how we met, but he never wants to commit and see me outside of work. He always has an excuse. Sometimes it's just, I'm tired. Today he told me that he didn't want to commit to anything. Everyone thinks we're going out, but I kind of feel like I'm being played. I really like him, though, and he knows that. What do I do? Every time I get angry at him, he pacifies me, and now I'm just sad and I don't know what to do. Girl, he's married and got a woman at his house. That's what's going on. So he can only play these little games with you and get this little sensation of romance, and, having somebody adoring him and loving, acting like she loves him and all stuff while he's at work, because his woman ain't going to come up to the job. And she thinks he's at work working. Instead, he's at work fucking around with you. So you need to, it's unfortunate when you people are this young. You're so young and you don't have much life experience yet. And so you don't know what stuff like this means. What's going on here, how he never wants to be seen with you outside of work. Once he steps outside that building where that woman's eyeballs are, then he can't be seen with you. That's what's going on right now. So this is not your man. It's not your boyfriend. It's nobody you going on dates with. He just somebody to fuck around with, and that's what he's doing with you. So I'm going to suggest if you have the option to find yourself another place of employment, you'll probably make more money, but you need to be away from this situation. Then I want you to go and listen to all these videos on this channel about dating and games men play and wise up. He's not gay. He got somebody. That's why he can't be seen out. She might be picking him up for all we know, sitting out there in the parking lot. So he can't go nowhere with you. He got to be out that door so she can, he can meet her. But yeah, this is what it is. You act like a couple at work, but he never wants to come in and see me outside of work. He always has an excuse. Sometimes it's just I'm tired. That's what I'm saying. So, but she doesn't understand at only 18, what this all means. So, girlfriend, there's no future here. This ain't nothing. It's not gonna go into nothing. And just acting like we're a couple stuff, you need to shut that down. You're not a couple. No matter what kind of fantasy you have going on, there's no relationship here. Question 25, female, 26 to 29, Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire, UK. Whew, that's a lot of words. I'm starting to realize that my relationship has pretty much made me up of a lot of I'm sorries. It's gotten to the point where it's lost its meaning now. My partner just says there's nothing more that he can do but apologize whenever he hurts me or is in the wrong. It's not good enough, and this point is just pretty pathetic. The most recent thing is that if he hasn't made any time for us to go out on dates, but he is off seeing his friends, I'm starting to feel like a fool. Okay, well, how many times have I said this? If you're in a situation, I'm going to say it one more time. You're in a situation you call a relationship with a man, but said man is not giving you the time, the attention, the romance, the affection, the devotion, the loyalty, the respect, whatever that you want in a relationship for you to give your whole self, then what do? It's obvious he's not going to do that. This ain't the man to provide you with those things that you so desperately are looking for. You want a lot of companionship. You want some intimacy. And he's not doing it. He'd rather be with his friends than be with you. What does that mean? That means that you're in a relationship that's not meeting your needs. You're not even married. Okay, this is a mere boyfriend. And yet here you are all anguished and suffering. Girl, pack your shit and get out. Go and stay with your mama or some friends or something till you get your own place. Then you don't need to be living with nobody. Okay? Don't live with anybody unless you're married. I never understood all this. Everybody want to shack up and live with some clown. I'm not living with nobody. All this up in here is me. I need all the space myself. There's no room for anyone else here. I have all my shit. I have 2 dressers full of my shit. 2, 3 closets. Guess what? All my stuff in them. My bedroom and an extra room and an extra storage space. Guess what? All my shit. Me. There's no room for anyone else in here. So you're never moving with a man. Ever. I don't see any benefit to it for women. Unless you're just homeless or some shit. Then I guess there might be. They want too much. They be asking for shit all the time. Get in your space, taking your shit, using your shit. Get out. Don't touch my stuff. No, you can't use my lotion. I paid $50 for that lotion. That shit ain't for you. That crocodile skin you have, you better use some fucking Jergens or some Vaseline intensive care that you bought at CVS. You don't use my expensive shit. No. But, they just stuff like that. They just get on my nerves. They leave wet towels everywhere, shaving hairs everywhere, piss on the toilet and on the floor. I don't really want to be bothered. I like it when they live at their house. I go in, I visit, I do what I need to do. Then I'd be like, oh, that was lovely. Ta-ta. That's the best. I don't know if I'm easy to live with. I'm probably not. Because I like my shit a certain way. And like I said, the other day, it's like, I have a lot of papers around here. I'm looking at stacks of papers right now. But it's my shit. And I know where everything is. Don't come in here. Don't touch nothing. Don't be taking, I'm going to help you clean up and stuff. Don't touch my shit. Leave it. I know where each one of them 90 piles, what's in each one. Okay, that's my stuff. Stay out of my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch nothing that I own. Nothing. Ain't nobody driving my car. Nothing. Nothing. It's all my stuff. And I'm just very selfish. I don't want to share my stuff with no man. Have your own shit. Get out of here. No. So our last question of the day. Yeah, all that stuff. I'm trying to tell you, Sue. You eat what you want to. You can have ice cream for dinner. Ain't nobody saying, what you gonna cook? I'm not cooking shit. How about that? You want to eat something, make the magic happen. Otherwise, you can starve. The inside of your stomach will be touching the other side. I don't care. Shit, grown ass man, get in your car and go get you something. DoorDash yourself. You pay for it though. I'm not doing that. So yeah, I don't want to be bothered. I be like, I want some food. What you telling me for? Do I look like your mother? I don't give a fuck. You can starve, nigga. Okay? I just don't care. I just want you to understand. So, you have to get a little of that you give to. You're doing too much for this dude. Whew. Okay, and our last question of the day, question number 26. 26 question. Female, 30 to 35 from Lowell, Massachusetts. I'll try not to rant here because I know you hate super long letters. Unfortunately, I have to go into some detail so you understand where I'm coming from. I am 31 and engaged to a 30-year-old man, and I'm 20 weeks pregnant. And I just found out that we're having a girl. We've been discussing names since before getting pregnant, so we had a couple of candidates on deck. But while discussing it before bed again last night, he brought up something that he hadn't mentioned before. He wants her middle name to be his deceased ex-fiance's first name. So he want to name his baby with you after some dead bitch. That's what you telling me. Okay. Wow. I was taken aback because he's never mentioned that before. Like I said, us discussing baby names multiple times. Some backstory. He started dating this woman when he was 22. They were together 4 years and were engaged for over a year before breaking up. He has never really gone into detail, but he makes it sound out to be that it was pretty amicable. They differed on what goals they had and what they wanted out of life, is how he describes it. He does say that she initiated it more than he did, but he agreed and didn't fight it much, but that it was hard for him. So a little after 2 months after the breakup, she died suddenly from a blood clot in her heart. He went into a deep depression after that and had a lot of remorse and guilt about their relationship. Therapy and time seem to help him, although it's not a subject that he brings up often. Wow, that must have been pretty hard. So 4 years. So he started when he was 22. So 26. So anywhere between 26 and 27. Okay. We met 2 years after she passed and was empathetic about it and supportive. Well, I've never had anything remotely similar happen to me. I understand the grieving process, so I've done everything I can to help him. From listening to him talk about it to visiting her grave with him on occasion, I've tried to be the best I can be for him. Some friends say that they'd be a little weirded out about it, and I get their perspective, but I know I will never understand what it's like for him, and I won't judge his emotions on it. That being said, I'm not sure how I feel about naming our daughter after his ex. I've understood that grieving because of how long they were together and how close her death followed their breakup, but at the same time, their relationship was over. I feel like naming his child our child after his ex is going too far. How are we to explain to them when they're older who they are named after? What is this they shit? You know it's a girl, say she. I didn't bring up these concerns last night. I just told him I'll think about it and left it at that. But he brought it up again today, and I don't know how to tell him I'm not comfortable with it. Does this make me a bad partner to him? No, it makes you a mother that has some fucking sense. Oh, that's your baby. I don't know what they do in Massachusetts, but here in California, the mother's the one that signs the birth certificate for the child. So the name that the mother gives the child is the name that the child has. That's it. Now, like I said, I don't know what they do in Massachusetts along those lines. Maybe somebody who is in the chat or who will hear this video later will know and they can respond to that. But I'm going to say this. You're going to sit your little man down and you're engaged. Okay, so y'all ain't married yet. So I would sit him down and I would say, look here, son. This is how it's going to go. I'm going to name my baby. And I'm not going to name my baby after that bitch. Okay, let's just be clear. I respect the fact that you grieving with her for over her and y'all was in love and all this old shit when you was 22 or whatever age you were. But that don't have nothing to do with me. And it definitely doesn't have anything to do with the child that I carry and I birth. So let's be real clear. She will not have the name of that bitch. She's not going to have the name of your mama, that bitch either. She's going to have the name that I give her. And it's going to be a name that don't nobody that you know have. That's how we're going to do this. Now, if that's a problem for you, we don't have to get married. And I just want you to know how serious I am about this. There's no compromising here. There's no negotiation. I have spoken, and that is what is going to happen. And then that's it. So the sooner that you tell him that, the sooner he can start, dealing with the reality of you ain't naming my baby after no dead bitch. That's just not gonna happen. It's not happening. So every time I have to write my child's name, I got to think about that hoe. I'm not thinking about her. She wasn't thinking about you, motherfucker. That's why she broke up with you. That's the part he keeps forgetting. He's like all pining over her and all this shit. Years and years later, she broke up with you, son. She didn't want to be bothered with your monkey ass. And then you sitting up there wanting to name a kid, my kid after her. Motherfucker, that's not going to happen. Okay? The bitch is dead. She didn't want you. Get over it. I I'm just telling you, I know me. I know that's what I would say. No, that's nothing to leave him about. You don't leave him about this unless he gives a fucked up response. Then you do. But that's why I put that on the table. Like, this is how serious I am about that. If you have a problem with that, that's unacceptable to you, there's the door. Bye. Because we don't have to get married. Here's your little raggedy ass ring back. Fuck you. And fuck that dead bitch too. Fuck all y'all. Now. And then you just do, what you want to. Leandra. I just can't even imagine somebody having that kind of gall. Because I can't even imagine how just say my husband came telling me, oh, I want to name, my daughter, I want to name her middle name to be this bitch I used to be engaged to. I would still be kicking his ass. Okay? It's like, how dare you even come to me with some bullshit like that? You done went crazy. Something wrong with you. Yeah, they just be saying all kind of stuff. And how the gall to even think he should fix his lips to say some shit like that. So he knew who to say it to because, you was actually considering it. Oh, let me think about it. I don't know how to tell him and all this kind of stuff. Whereas me, the words would have flew out of my mouth by the time, first I would have looked at him like he was crazy because I would have had to double check to make sure I was really hearing what I was hearing. So I probably would have been like, what did you say? Because am I hearing things? Was I delirious for a second, passed out? What happened? And so then I would be interested to hear what he had to say. And, he could say it again. So I'd be like, okay, I thought that's what you said. But let me clarify this for you before you start going down that track. That shit ain't happening. I want to remind you the bitch broke up with you. Okay, she didn't want to be bothered with your monkey ass. So you sitting up there now, 10 years later, trying to name my baby, the one that I carried, the one that I'm going to have, labor pains over, stretch marks, all kind of stuff going on in my body because of her. And you want to give my baby her name. That's what you think you going to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, that shit's not happening. It's not going to happen. So I don't know. You better get you a dog and name it after that bitch. That's probably more appropriate. But my child, that's not going to happen. I'm going to name my baby what I want my baby's name to be. You know why? Because I'm the one that carried her for 9 months. So that's my privilege and my right. You get her last name. That's the only input you get. She going to have your last name and you keep fucking around. She's not going to have that. She going to have my last name too. So, I just never heard of no shit like that. This man needs his ass kicked. I'm sorry, lady. I'm sorry, when you're pregnant and you have to go through such marked disrespect. You have to hear something like that. And it just totally destroys you. And I think people don't really realize the vulnerable state that pregnant women are in. And then you have somebody disrespecting what you're doing, bringing his child into the world. And that's the best he can do. That's what he comes at you with. He should have thought about that and kept his mouth closed. Like I said, get you a goldfish and name it after her. Get you a dog and name it after her, a cat or something. You do something like that. You're not naming my child after that bitch, and that's just not going to happen. I don't know why that's so hard. But anyway, I'm glad you guys made it to. I just feel like I just did this like an hour ago. So there, two shows like Sunday and then Tuesday. But I will be back again with more of the advice letters on Friday for Flummox Friday. It's the next to last show of the season, so try not to miss it. The Friday, June 4th, will be the last Flummox Friday. And then after that, we will start going into the Dusty News Network, which is our summer programming. And if you find a meme, a weird comment, some post that somebody did that you know is just like, clown, you just doing the most, then take a screenshot and email it to me at survivingdating@gmail.com. Make the subject line Dusty News or DNN in all caps. And we'll get we're collecting all the stuff. We're going to have to start making the slides probably next week for the first two shows. So you guys got some good stuff. Send it on in. Send it on in. Dusty News Network will start again. What is that, June 11th? I think the second Friday in June and run through the summer. That's our summer programming. Then we'll be back to doing something else. So you guys send in your advice letters. Check out the link in the show description down below. I appreciate you coming. Thanks a lot, Shay, and everybody who was here. I'll see y'all on Friday. Okay? Bye-bye.